Hi, I'm Nikki, and I'm here today at Houston's premier law firm, Lassiter Law. They have won well over $300 million for their clients. So whether you've been injured in a car accident or due to the negligence of another person or persons, Lassiter Law is the place to go. So I'm with James Lassiter, the owner and attorney. Tell me, why did you get into law?
Well, as a very young boy, I knew that for me to be successful in life, that education was the best avenue for me. I came from a family where no one ever went to college, and then once I graduated from college, I had to make a decision. I didn't know a lawyer until I became a lawyer, and so I was either going to go to a master's program or a law school. So I called my dad, and my dad was, son, law is, between those two. So that was the choice that I made, and, graduated from South Texas College of Law in 1991.
So why personal injury?
I've always been wanting to give back and to help. And, in today's day and age, the corporations, the big insurance companies, they're out to take advantage of the little guy, and they need a voice, and so I like to be that voice.
And speaking of the little guy, if someone is injured, what would you want a potential future client to know about Lassiter Law?
Well, the first thing I'd want them to know is to get Lassiter or get less.
Oh, I like that.
Seriously, the reason that we're different is that I started out of the back bedroom of my house, one client at a time. And 35 years later, I still one client at a time. And so when somebody comes to my firm, they get to meet the lawyer.
Right, and you care.
And we care. And we teach them about, it's their case. We're there for them. And so we like to educate them and teach them so that they know that we're all on the same team.
James, the law firm's motto is get Lassiter or get less. Please elaborate on what that means to you.
I was hoping you were going to ask that question. Get Lassiter or get less, it's not just a motto. It's how we operate. And it's not about the money. It's about when we say get Lassiter or get less, we say if you go somewhere else, you're going to get less attention. You're going to get less one-on-one treatment. You might not even meet the lawyer. You're going to get less in service. When you come to James Lassiter, we're going to sit down with you. We're going to give you the time, attention. We're going to keep you notified of what's happening with your case, and that's the more. So it's get Lassiter or get less, both with my time and, in the end, more money.
So picking you over, let's just say another law firm, a big hammer type firm, what would entice someone, or what would you tell them why to pick you over them?
There's too many firms that you see on TV and on billboards with gimmicks and slogans and hammers, and they're just factories. All they care about is the check that they write at the end of the day. At Lassiter, we know that there's thousands of cases out there, but we treat your case like it's the only case, and we give it the investigation, the time, the attention, and we have a whole team at the disposal of that case.
I was in an accident, and suing just never crossed my mind, although it turns out I was injured. What advice would you give to someone who has been in an accident, who may or may not be injured? Because as you know, you go through a lot of shock immediately following any kind of an accident. So why would someone want to consult with an attorney? What would be the reasons for that?
That's a very good question, and it's one that I confront unfortunately on a daily basis. There's so much propaganda out there with you see the commercials about you're in good hands, or like a good neighbor, or cute little geckos that tell you how endearing they are. But the reality is the insurance companies bring in trillions of dollars a year, and they're in the business of not paying it. And when it comes time to pay, they fight and they dig in. If you get in an accident and you think, well, I'm not trying to get more than I deserve, and it wasn't my fault, so I can just handle this on my own. Well, the insurance companies, they have lawyers. They have billions of dollars to fight you on that. And at the end of the day, I had too many people that in that same boat that come to me once the insurance company turns their back on them.
So you would say after an accident, call me.
I-
I'll have testing done for you to see what if there is an injury, and we'll proceed from there.
Absolutely. We're a full service boutique. If somebody has an accident, the best thing they can do is to call a personal injury lawyer because they don't know their rights. And you're correct in saying sometimes an individual with all the adrenaline and things that go on and the nature of the injuries, you might not realize, I've had it up to a week later and then they start having, severe problems.
So, James, most of us have insurance for our homes, our cars, even our lives. Why would someone want to consult with an attorney after an accident injury?
Insurance companies paint this fake picture that you're in good hands, or they're a good neighbor, or a cute little gecko to disarm you about how well they're going to treat you. The truth of the matter is, insurance companies bring in trillions of dollars and they don't want to pay. You need an advocate to argue for you. They've got thousands of lawyers and all kinds of resources that they're already on the case. You need to hire Lassiter Law so that you can have an advocate for your case.